Do the royals secretly want to give Prince Harry and possibly Meghan Markle a very stern talking to? Or, as Mike Tindall said, a good slap? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. He said it jokingly, by the way. Now, if you're wondering what this particular monument is behind me here, it's in Victoria Park in the heart of Westminster, and it was erected in 1835. I'll show you some pictures at the side, and it's wonderful actually. It's a water fountain. It was erected, should I say, by Charles Buxton, who was an MP at that time. And it's a long time ago, isn't it, when you think about it? But it was erected basically for the freedom of slaves. It was a monument for them. And of course, it was also a wonderful thing for all the people coming through this park, simply because at that point, people didn't carry all that plastic, Greta, and all those water bottles. You simply stopped in parks like this and they provided water for you. I mean, how wonderful. Why can't we go back? Well, don't you think we're a lot greener back then? But as ever, back to your royal story of the day. Now, I was lucky enough to attend a big hit TV show on stage the other evening at the wonderful London Palladium in the heart of London, as I often say. Truly is, though, a marvellous theatre if you get a chance to go and see it when you come to London. I've appeared on it quite a few times, a little bit nerve-wracking. All the greats have been there, from Tony Bennett, Judy Garland, Charlie Chaplin, everybody, Houdini, you name it. Those big names have walked before us. But this particular thing, well, the event, should I say, was a transfer onto stage of a very successful BBC TV show in which former sports people talk about sports and answer questions. It's a quiz, basically. Now, as we know, Mike Tindall is married to Zara Tindall, the daughter of Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal, Princess Anne. Very feisty lady, wouldn't want to cross her, as Mike's pointed out. Now, Mike himself is a former rugby player. He's from Wakefield in West Yorkshire and calls a spade a spade. There's no dressing it up with Mike. Now, someone asked him, what about Prince Harry? Was it true that you kind of had a playful slap around with him? And this is what he basically revealed. He said that, yes, when they were down in Australia, they basically decided, some members of his team and him, to see how long it would take Harry's security officers to jump in to rescue Prince Harry, as they sort of messed around with him, gave him a few playful rugby player slaps, like you do. Now, it emerged as the story moved on that, of course, it was then stated that perhaps some senior royals would like to continue to do this with Prince Harry currently. That brought the house down, let me tell you. And Mike, being Mike, said, well, yeah, maybe, I'm not so sure. It's possibly a thought that I know has gone through their mind. Now, you can imagine, as I say, Mike's jovial, it's been taken out of context. But what I really believe about that particular statement is it really gives you an insight into possibly the private discussions of what some senior members within the royal family truly think about the state of affairs with, of course, the former royal favourite, Prince Harry. A very good source tells me that the reason why they simply dare not reach out to him, and they truly do want to see if he's all right, how's he coping, these are the people that have known him for years. They know his personal problems, the situations that he has. But they daren't reach out simply because they do not know if anything could be transcribed, recorded and presented to the world as another story. Now, we're not suggesting that everything that Harry and Meghan do does have a monetization attached to it, but isn't it a shame that it's come to that? And a lot of people, say, oh no, it couldn't be like that. But if you remember, way back when they decided to Megxit, it was alluded that Meghan Markle, the actress, would call in from Canada for the discussions. And if you also remember, Her Majesty the Queen very quickly slapped that idea down, simply because she was advised that that personal conversation could get into the wrong hands. We're not suggesting from Harry and Meghan, but you never know with tappers. So for now, the playful sort of answer is, yes, I truly do believe that Harry and Meghan have created all sorts of ructions within senior members of the British Royals, and I am sure they'd like to get their hands on him. But for now, he remains very, very secure, trapped out into the arms of Meghan Markle and whatever else is out there in California. Neil Sean in the heart of London.